HTML text tags in 5 minutes. The first text element is H, or heading. There are 6 headings from H1 to H6, where H1 is the biggest and the most important, and H6 is the smallest and the least important. So looking at this, you may be tempted, for example, to use multiple H1s for bigger text, multiple H6s for tiny text, etc, etc, etc. This is very wrong, don't do that. I want you to use headings by their meaning. Headings in HTML have their own hierarchy. So why do we have this hierarchy? So first of all, it's accessibility. A lot of people who require a screen reader, they need the hierarchy to be followed. So the screen reader won't get confused and will be able to follow your website's layout correctly. Another huge reason is SEO. SEO stands for Search Engine Optimization. It is basically the way to communicate with the search engine so your website will be able to be searched. I'm going to go over SEO a lot. In the future, we're going to learn about different rendering strategies like CSR, SSR, ISR. Don't worry about this right now. However, I want you to keep SEO in mind. Now, I'll give you an example why throwing around headings in random fashion is not a good idea. So you can clearly see that the text that says welcome to our page is much more important than the text below it. However, for the screen reader and for the SEO bot, they don't know this and they will treat H1, even though the text is smaller and obviously much less important, they will treat H1 as the most important one. It's just a very, very bad practice. So what does this mysterious heading hierarchy look like? So most of the time, every single page you have will have some kind of main heading. It won't necessarily be the biggest text, it will just be the most important. And for this text, you will use an H1. There should be only one H1 per page. And let's say you have multiple sections in your page, right? As a heading of this section, you will use an H2. You can have multiple H2s. And let's say you have some subsections. You will use H3 for those. So they kind of like trickling down from the most to least important. Quite simple. Now let's move on to the next tag, which is P, or paragraph. It is simply a paragraph. There's not much to say about it. Next element is span. Most of the time, you're going to use it to just nest it in a paragraph or a heading or whenever. So why is span element so cool? So let's say you have like a big paragraph and you just want to style a single sentence or a couple of words. You'll wrap those words with a span and style the span. Now, when we actually use the span, you see it doesn't start from the new line. And if you try to do it with multiple paragraphs that come one after another, they will actually all start from the new line. Why? Well, span is an inline element. And we're going to take a little step away and talk about block and inline elements.